Okay, back with another one. I've taken my vitamins, I've lit a candle, let's go. I have a theory, basically, that there are like two ways of understanding something. The first way is that we might get something inside our heads and like understand it in our own heads, but it takes hearing it from someone else to like actually get it and be like, oh, okay, I get it now. The second way is that you hear it loads from other people, but it only really actually clicks when you like think about it yourself and work it out for yourself. It's really weird how the mind works with different things, but basically recently I had this epiphany, this breakthrough moment. For a while, things just didn't really click with me and like manifestation or whatever you want to call it, because it seemed that there were like so many rules and so many things in my mind that seemed to contradict each other. And so when I would really look at these teachings or these tips, it would just confuse the heck out of me. So the other day, I realised what it all actually meant and how to actually move forward. And it just really goes to show, in my belief, that you can hear something a million times and get taught something a million times, but until it makes sense to you and you work it out, you will not get it. And I felt like I kept hearing the same thing over and over again about frequency and about energy and you are what you attract. And I just never really understood that because I was looking at things the wrong way, I guess, looking back. In terms of manifestation, I used to always get quite frustrated because nothing in my reality reflected back to me what I wanted, and nothing in my mind was reflecting back to who I was and who I am, I think. I like to think, and honestly I do still think this, but I like to think that if you are a good person, that goodness comes back to you. And it still does, I guess, in this new theory of me or this way of thinking that I found, but in a different way, I suppose. I think that's why I used to sometimes worry that secretly I was a really bad person and that I was somehow doing really bad things, because I was like, well, if you're a good person, then good things just happen to you and it's all just going to be okay and it's all going to turn out amazing. And I still think that. But I also now realise that you have to be a bit more proactive about calling in the good things. I'm going to break this down a bit more because I honestly don't think I'm making any sense at all. But basically, I have this idea of who my dream future self is, what her life looks like, what she does every day, and, you know, for work, what kind of people she surrounds herself with, and most importantly, how she feels and how she makes choices for herself, how I feel, basically. That's like the one detail that is clear and always stays the same and blah blah blah. My future dream self, not to get all woo woo on you, but she is real. Like, I know she's in my future. I know that I will be her because I connect to her, and when I do, I just feel so aligned and safe and sure. And I know that it's her. Like, I know that it's my highest self or my future self, and she is always smiling and she's always so excited, and it always feels so good to connect to her and be in that energy. So I know that I'm getting there and I will be like that one day. I will be her one day. But anyway, I digress. My future self is connected to herself. She's aligned. She's grounded. She's in tune with her emotions. She's gentle with herself, and she just makes good, healthy, aligned choices and habits for herself. So for some reason, I don't know why it took so long to click in my head, but it finally did the other day. I was thinking about it and I thought, oh yeah, duh, like, how am I going to reach this amazing aligned, centered place if I'm not actively trying to reach that perfect, aligned, amazing place? I think it actually came up because I got this offer out of the blue, and it was something that I didn't really want to do. It was something that I didn't really want to go back to, and I knew if I told other people, they'd probably tell me to just take it for security and, you know, it's something, and, you know, just be on the safe side. But I knew in my heart that it wasn't worth it for me, and I had made all these plans for the new year of what I wanted and what I want my life to look like, and this would feel like going back to a place I couldn't and didn't feel aligned with, and just felt like it was going to completely ruin everything that I was trying to build up. But I kept freaking out and panicking and thinking I was going to make the wrong decision, and I felt bad for saying no, And just all of this stuff was coming up for me, even though in my heart I knew that I didn't want to and wasn't going to take this. I still kept going back and forth. In the end, for some reason, I was like really freaking out. And I was like, how can I calm myself down? What do? I don't know what to do. And in the end, for some reason, I just thought of my future self and I connected with the energy and I thought, what would she do in this situation? I saw a version of myself that was smiling and calm and aligned with herself. And she was like, chill, it's okay. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. I would say no. And like, who cares what other people will think or feel or do? It's not their life, it's yours. And you're going to do what's right for you. And I know that an even better opportunity is going to come along. And I know that an even more aligned opportunity is going to come along because we're going to put the work in and we're going to make good choices. So just don't freak out. Just don't think about what others would do. Just be chill. And it was in that moment that it finally clicked and that the pieces went together in my mind. And I realized that I should be thinking like this all of the time. Every choice, every decision, every action I make should come out of this place of alignment and self-love and self-respect. And from that place of knowing and trust, because that's what she would do. That's what my future self would do. And I'm not going to become her by doing the same thing every day out of fear or survival mode or just disassociation because I just want to get through the day. Because that is how I've been living for a long time, just survival mode. And I think that's the hard thing about mental health, at least for me, is that it is so hard to feel what you're feeling sometimes. It is also so difficult to even fully feel your emotions when you've pushed them away for so long from fear of what you might find and experience. I have to admit that I was definitely holding out hope that one day I was just going to wake up and everything was going to be okay and amazing, and I was suddenly going to feel like this dream version of myself. Unfortunately, life does not work like that, and things do not work like that. You have to be more proactive about who you want to be and what actions you take and why, and it will feel uncomfortable and annoying and frustrating and difficult at times, probably all of the time at first, which is what I'm kind of feeling at the moment, is like coming back to myself. It will feel strange coming out of these mindsets and habits, and it does feel strange. And then trying to think about like, how would I respond to this if I was this person that I've always wanted to be? You know, what actions can I do right now? I might not have the life that I want, but what can I do right now to help myself? If that future person was picked up from that life and plonked into my current life, how would she respond and what would she do? And slowly but surely you will start to live and be like this version so naturally. You'll start to become this person without thinking about it at all. It will just stick. And then bam, you wake up and you are this version. And then all the other things will fall into place, but it's not going to happen if you don't take those first steps. And I'm not saying that from then on in, your life will only be good, because life is not like that. You will always experience the good and the bad, no matter what stage of life or healing or alignment that you're in. But for me personally, it's about being the person who can not only deal with the bad in a more aligned, healthier way, and in a way that I don't totally lose myself because I just want to get through the day. And I'm so far into survival mode that it's like, wow, where did I go for a week? But also being the version of myself that is able to receive and accept the good as well. I don't know why I went as well. And not feel like I'm not doing enough to get the good, or that I'm so deep in survival mode that I'm so tense and so tunnel vision that I don't even notice the good. And I just want to be more connected to myself. So yeah, it is hard, it's difficult, it's going to be a little bitch sometimes, but just sticking with it and believing in myself and not giving up on myself, not abandoning myself. What's really helping me right now is meditating and deep breathing. Deep breathing is medicine, like noticing your breath, acknowledging your breath. It puts you right back into your body, helps me so much. And meditating, especially guided meditations in the morning, even if I kind of lose it a bit or I like drift off a bit, I like can recenter my thoughts and come back to myself and focus on my breathing again. I used to beat myself up a lot about like not getting through a meditation without like my thoughts drifting or like not being present or whatever, and now I'm like, you know what, small victories. It's just enough that I made the effort to sit down and be with myself and acknowledge my breathing. And if my thoughts drifted at any point, then who cares? Like, I'm still making a proactive effort to change. And I think that we should focus on that and not, oh, well, I still did something wrong. Candles really help me as well. I love lighting candles. They make me feel like so warm and cozy, but also just, I don't know, like connected in a weird way. And like I'm not alone. It's so weird. I'm going to go all woo woo on you for like 2 seconds. Just bear with. I don't know if I believe in past lives. The concept of past lives honestly freaks me out a bit, I'm not gonna lie to you. But if they do exist, and if I did have one or multiple, I feel like one of my past lives would have been like some kind of priestess or something, or like living in a temple and like worshipping a deity or like a goddess. Because whenever I light a candle, I like have visions, not visions as in the sense of like actual visions, but like I can imagine. I'm not that woo woo, I'm not that aligned yet. Maybe I'll start getting visions. But I can like imagine myself just being in a temple with, women, other women, fellow sisters or whatever, just like being surrounded by candles and calmness and prayer and worship. And I don't know, candles just make me feel really aligned and really calm and at peace. And yeah, getting a planner where it has like the date and the days on it, and writing down like each task I want to do for the day, even if I don't complete every task, it still just helps me have like a visual aid of not only what I want to get accomplished today so I don't lose focus, but just knowing what day it is and like centering myself in the date and the day. Because like I said, when I'm in survival mode, I can go like a week just trying to get through the day, and then I'll be like, oh shit, like I went somewhere for a week. So yeah, like knowing the date and like figuring out what day it is and just like having that to help me ground in is really lovely, honestly. And just checking in with myself. I really want to be in more silence with myself and give myself more silent time. I was watching a YouTuber called Andrew TMI, who I absolutely adore. He's so funny. I love him. I've watched him for years. But he's just moved out of like a long-term relationship and he's living alone. And he was talking about how he's like always got a podcast on, or he's always got music on, or he's always got like some kind of background noise in his apartment. And he realized that it was becoming a problem because he couldn't function without noise, but he needed like quiet time. He needed silence some of the time to like allow his thoughts to come through and allow his, his creativity, to flourish. And it was so funny because I was watching this and I was like, oh my god, yeah, like that's so true. I think like I need more quiet time too. I think a lot of our lives are very busy and loud, and there's always more content, or we're always listening to music, or we're always listening to a podcast, or there's always some kind of background noise, which is fun and great, but sometimes we also just need to come back to ourselves and be in silence for a bit. I'm not really doing New Year's goals. I'm kind of just checking in with myself like every couple days to see like, okay, what's like a habit, or like what's something that I did today that I really enjoyed, or like something that maybe I want to get rid of and that I want to focus more on. And today I was journaling and I was like, I really want to put aside like 5-10 minutes a day where I really just sit with myself and I just like acknowledge my thoughts and not acknowledge what's coming up, acknowledge my thoughts, my feelings, and what is my body trying to tell me, what are my emotions and my thoughts trying to tell me. Because I was really struggling with like some images and some stuff that I didn't really want to think about, that my brain kept showing me, and my brain always shows me these really awful images whenever I get heightened anxiety. And I was like, okay, I'm actually going to try and sit with it for a moment and just ask, like, why are they there? What is my body, what is my mind trying to tell me? And I was like, oh my god, like, wow, it makes sense now. And I journaled about it and I understood it. And I was like, oh, it's just my ego trying to keep me safe. And, I need to acknowledge that, but also move on and deal with this and blah, blah, blah. More silent time, more quiet time, so I can acknowledge my thoughts, even though they might seem a bit loud or a bit scary or a bit intimidating. Just sitting with yourself and being like, okay, what are you actually trying to tell me? Why are you actually being like this? Like, because I've found that most of the time when I think my mind or my body is against me, it's actually doing a lot for me. It does everything for me, even if it doesn't seem like it in the surface and you're trying to run away from it. Actually, like, sitting with it and being like, okay, I'm not enjoying this right now, but you're obviously trying to tell me something. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you here? Why have you come up now? Or we all have these moments where, like, oh, I was doing so well and then this happened. Sit with it and just ask yourself, why are you here? I appreciate you being here. What are you trying to tell me? And then you can move forward, because we all have a lot of wisdom within us. We all have a lot of answers within us. It's just giving ourselves that grace and that patience and that silence and a chance to talk to ourselves and just receive the messages and the wisdom that we all have within us. Okay, I've yapped for far too long. I'm gonna go now. This evening I was watching Jaws 2, and I paused at a very crucial time. It was getting very intense, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to finish my tea, I'm going to dry my hair, I'm going to do heatless curls, and then I'm going to film the podcast, and then I'm going to finish Jaws 2. So yeah, also the first film that I've watched in 2026, can you believe that? It's the 25th of January right now, and Jaws 2 is the first film that I've watched. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Sometimes I need breaks from intense scenes. I've yapped for far too long. I will talk to you soon, and wish me luck finishing Jaws 2.